This is a weekend of vulnerability and confusion in regards to partnership pooling money together. Hey guys, it's so good to see you. Thanks for watching. You know what? I want to connect to you and I want to connect with you and I want to know more about you. So do me a favor in the comment section below, just write and tell me how you feel. I want to engage with you. I want to acknowledge you. I want to see you and I want you to know that you're being heard. I'm not a mind reader yet in this lifetime. So please help me by writing something in the comment section below. Don't forget to like this video. Don't forget to subscribe and share and tell all of your friends about the connections that you're making, and I will see ya on the flip side. Hey guys, it's Terry. Happy relationship reading. That's right. We have a relationship reading for the weekend of October 8 to 11. That's October 8 through 11. And we'll see what is going on with relationships. Just remember that relationships can be platonic or they can be romantic, okay? So we don't want to limit ourselves in terms of getting stuck in the definition. And hopefully I'll be able to assess that for you as we go on, whether it is romantic or platonic or whatever. A couple things to remember. I am not the end all be all. I am not a god. I'm a human being who makes mistakes. Yes. So nothing I say is ever set in stone. You're ultimately making all your own choices and decisions anyways, right? Yes. Also, this is a collective reading, which means I'm reading for everybody who's watching this, right? So this information may not be laser focused to just you. So just take whatever information resonates with you and toss what doesn't, just like you should be doing at any time, every time, all the time in your life. So if any psychic, medium, energy healer tells you something and it doesn't feel right for you, do not take that information. You ultimately know what's best for you. Also remember that these are timeless readings. So just because the intention of this reading is for the weekend of October 8 to 11, if you're watching this at another time, there is such thing as divine timing and you will get the message that you need. So there's no reason to worry, get concerned, get all anxious, anything like that if you're watching this a year, even 2 years from now. So don't even worry about that. These are timeless. All right, you guys? So let's get to it. When I talked and chatted, had a cup of joe with Spirit, I asked, what should I tell my subs, my viewers, anybody who watches me? What can I tell them? Or anybody who's watching this video at any given time, what can I tell them or information can I give them about relationships and like what's gonna go on? And they started talking about money and confusion and communication. And I was like, oh shit, that does not sound good. And then I started to get this feeling of what that confusion felt like and the potential and possibilities that money situation, conversation could bring up for people. Now, I will say that this does feel more geared towards people who pool their money together. Most of the time, now again, I don't know what your particular situation is, so you're gonna have to feel into this and take whatever you can out of this. But most of the time, people who pool their money together are typically married or they're in a domestic partnership of some sort, which with discernment tells me that this is more of like a romantic type of connection. I don't know many people who like friends share bank accounts or employee and boss share bank accounts. So I am using my regular Terry hat to put that together. But that's what Spirit told me was the pooling of money together and the people who have relationships who pool their money together. So I'm confident enough to just declare that this is for romantic partnership. It does feel more towards people who have contracts together too. They're talking about, so this is probably married people, but I don't want to limit it because Marriage is, more of an older institution, even though it's very common and popular now, but a lot of people are finding their life partners and they're not necessarily married. And many are sharing and pooling their money together. So usually people who do that have some sort of romantic connection. So this is going to be more of a romantic reading. That's what it's feeling like. And the confusion part does not feel good. It does feel like there's triggers from the past. Now, each person or each party, comes from their own relationship with money, right? So each person can be triggered differently in terms of money. So it's like either bills come up, or you're just newly getting married, or you're just newly engaged, or something about conversations and money and pooling your money together and allocating this payment's gonna go for this and this payment's gonna go for that. Now, remember, I may not be exact or literal, so think metaphorically as well. But there is this confusion that happens. And it does feel like this is like a next level thing. So maybe this is something, if you've been together for a really long time, that just hasn't been hammered out yet. And the conversation is coming up again. And the confusion causes discomfort. And so there could be bickering, there could be arguing. It just doesn't feel very good. It feels like the potential. Now, I'm not by any means predicting breakups or anything like that. Just want to make it clear. But the uncomfortability, that's a hard word to say, the discomfort of the conversation, all it's really doing is it's coming up so that each of you could be put in a vulnerable situation to closer bond. So that's like the higher purpose of this, is to bond through really uncomfortable moments, right? And if you think about it, that's all life really is, even if you're not in a relationship, even if you're just single, right? So life is always about uncomfortable situations that are leveling up. But when you're dealing in relationship, you're dealing with not only your triggers in your relationship to money, but somebody else's. And how they respond, like how people respond and react when they're triggered into, their wounded inner child is like, if you know your partner's wounded inner child, then you can become more compassionate and you probably know how to approach the conversation. Thank you. They're still talking about the approach to the conversation. So, don't come at your partner like, man, we got to pay this, man. Just come from, I don't know if you're familiar with active listening or not. If you're not, Google it. But it's just another exercise in active listening and allowing your partner to feel seen and heard, which is so important to help that wound heal. So this is a weekend of vulnerability and confusion in regards to partnership, pooling money together and allocating money, but it's only to help heal those wounds, to bring deeper bonds with each other. So it is not a bad thing. It just doesn't feel good. And if you can get through this, this is great. I will say a lot of people will have a hard time getting through this. So don't expect this conversation to be a one shot and done. This is going to be an ongoing conversation, but it's like it either comes up again because this topic doesn't have closure, because neither one of the parties, it's not either one, it's neither one of the parties learned the lesson, and so it's coming up for review, or it's the first time y'all are dealing with this, and it, for the newbies, when I say newbies, like newly engaged or on their, newly pooling their money, like this is an ongoing conversation. And as we know, money is very triggering to everybody, not just whether you're in a romantic relationship, even if you're not pooling your money together with anybody or whatnot. So it's here to help. It's not happening to you, it's happening for you. Let's pull some cards just to see. I only use 2 cards for the relationship reading. I use the Romance Angel Oracle cards by Doreen Virtue. And then I use the Oracle of E cards by Pam Grout and Collette Baron-Reid. So let's do a reveal. Free fallen, yes. It is gonna feel like the discomfort is gonna feel like you've lost all sense of control. You know, you go on those rides at the amusement parks where you just like, some of them have like no gravity or whatever, and you lose your stomach. You're like, oh my God. And it's as if your physical reality is disappearing right in front of you. That's what this feels like. That's how uncomfortable this is. Lack of control. I mean, you have your views, you have your way of how you would like or, you know, want things to be allocated or pulled together, and they have their ways. And that is going to make you feel out of control. And when we feel like we're out of control, it's the response to it. So active listening, try being as compassionate and empathetic, not sympathetic, empathetic as possible. And then we have deception. Wah, wah. Someone is wearing a false self mask in this relationship. So I don't want to say that someone is purposely deceiving somebody, but I feel like there might be information that is revealed that maybe the other partner didn't know. And it could just be in terms of their reaction, or it could be that one partner finds out that the other partner actually makes more money but only contributes like a little bit or something. So I mean, deception, you know, and again, this is part of that conversation of the revelation between both of you. How are you going to handle this? What information comes up? How are you being triggered when it comes to money? I don't want to be all gloom and doom. It's like, I don't like to be gloom and doom, but this does feel serious. You know, and it feels like it's an ongoing conversation. So if there's a way both of you guys can really work this out and work on it to where each of you feel heard, seen, acknowledged, and you come up with a strategy, it would be best to do it as soon as possible. And because it's going on this weekend, it's going to give you an opportunity to do that, right? We always want to look at the advantage or the silver lining of a situation, because we live in a world of polarity and duality. And if we're only going to focus in one direction, our energy is going to emit broadcasting signals to just magnetize and match and meet those frequencies, right? So by finding the advantage, or by finding the positive side of things, or finding the silver lining, will help you feel better. It'll bring you to a higher sense of relief, which changes your broadcasting signal. Yes? So then you start to emit that. So this is a really great opportunity. That's why I keep saying it's an opportunity. There's a blessing in this. There's an advantage. The silver lining is that when you guys talk this out and you keep this conversation going, you keep this conversation moving, that it can actually deepen your bonds. You can deepen your bonds. You can get closer. Okay? So it's not like, like the worst weekend ever, but it is a challenging one for relationships. All right, you guys? What am I always saying to you? Stay connected. Stay connected to yourself and your family and friends. Stay connected to me, right? You can check me out at terryhuberman.com. There's so many ways we can connect together. I would love to connect with you. Please like this video so that other people can see it. YouTube has an algorithm that when you like a video, it shows to other people. So there are plenty of people who need this relationship advice that may not be seeing it. And that's how you can pass it on. And that's how you can bring love and light and be, your energy worker and your light worker healing self too. So please like, subscribe, share, all the things. All right, you guys, thank you so much for watching. I so enjoy doing this for you. I really, really do. And I'll see ya on the flip side.